Harper Lee's 1960 novel, To Kill a Mockingbird, belongs to the Southern Gothic literary tradition, a genre that became prominent in the 20th century and furthers the Gothic tradition of exploring the macabre violence lurking beneath the apparently tranquil surface of reality. As in Gothic novels, the Southern Gothic genre derives tension from the suppression of dark urges, secrets, and past violence, which threaten to erupt over the course of the novel. These Southern Gothic elements are apparent in works by writers including William Faulkner and Flannery O'Connor. The genre was on the wane by the 1960s, but writers have continued to employ its conventions. The works of contemporary writers, including Dorothy Allison, Barry Hannah, and Cormac McCarthy, have attributes of Southern Gothic novels. Positioning To Kill a Mockingbird within the Southern Gothic context helps us understand the novel as part of a dynamic literary tradition and adds depth to its representation of small-town culture and racism. Emerging in Europe, the Gothic genre saw great success in the 1800s, with works including Frankenstein, Jane Eyre, and Wuthering Heights, and has remained popular. Gothic novels typically incorporate dark themes, the supernatural, and remote settings with severe weather to explore repressed secrets that continue to influence the present. These same Gothic conventions are also found in works of the Southern Gothic tradition. But in Southern Gothic, the narrative is transported from castles or windswept moors to the rural South. The conflict is between the racism and violence of the region's past and present day. Familiar Southern Gothic elements exist in To Kill a Mockingbird. Monstrous characters, including Bob Ewell and the ghost-like Boo Radley, populate the novel's rural Alabama setting, where, quite unexpectedly, snowfall occurs. Tom Robinson's trial and the attack on Scout and Jem by Bob Ewell represent the struggle between the region's suppressed violent, racist history and its more genteel, surface image. To Kill a Mockingbird arrived at the end of Southern Gothic's initial flourishing. William Faulkner, the author of novels including As I Lay Dying and The Sound and the Fury, was one of its earliest and best-known proponents. His stories take place in rural Mississippi and feature characters grappling with the racial and economic anxieties of the post-Civil War South. Haunted houses and characters, taboo themes such as incest, and suppressed racism and violence feature prominently in his stories. Faulkner's famous quote, "The past is never dead, it's not even past," underscores how the characters in his books, and in Southern Gothic writing in general, cannot move beyond the sins of their forefathers. Flannery O'Connor is another writer associated with the genre, even though she loathed the term Southern Gothic. She's best known for her short stories, including A Good Man is Hard to Find and Everything That Rises Must Converge. O'Connor's works are renowned for their cynical outlook, their exaggerated characters, called grotesques, and their complex treatment of race in the segregated South. Shocking acts of violence remind the reader that dark, mysterious drives lurk beneath the surface of small-town life. While To Kill a Mockingbird has many similarities with other Southern Gothic works, it also has differences. Its family-friendly tone contrasts with the more adult subject matter and language of other Southern Gothic works. Since it's told from the perspective of a young girl who doesn't understand many of the adult topics being mentioned, it dwells less on sex, violence, and evil than other Southern Gothic works. The humor in To Kill a Mockingbird is also gentler than other Southern Gothic works, whose humor is typically dark and at the expense of the characters. It's also more hopeful. Instead of ending in murder and hopelessness, we see good, represented by Boo Radley and the Finches' triumph over Bob Ewell's evil. We still see violence rooted in the past, but it's tempered by hope for reconciling with history and learning from past sins. Some characters are driven by typical repressed torments, but others are motivated by desire to do good and enact societal change. Secrets lose their power to haunt in the light of day, as when Boo finally emerges from his house to be seen. The novel's final words, "Most people are nice when you finally see them," evoke hope for a less prejudiced, more enlightened future.